And a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Hishain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. The Appropriation Bill for 2020 was passed in Parliament with amendments without a vote. Police commences arresting violators of isolation orders using drone cameras. News in detail. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, under the capacity of Finance Minister, states that contrary to the forecasted dark picture, the government has settled all debt obligations, including the foreign currency debt dues for the year 2020. Premier Rajapaksa, presenting the second reading of Appropriation Bill 2020 today morning, stressed that it is the responsibility of the government to reduce the income expenditure gap to 4% of GDP by 2025, which now stands at nearly 10%. Thus, the bill was passed in the Parliament with amendments without a vote.
රෝගීන් හඳුනා ගැනීම, නිරෝධායන, නියම පරීක්ෂණ හා ආශ්‍රිත සුබසාධන කටයුතු සඳහා මේ වෙන විට රජය වියදම් කර මුදල් ප්‍රමාණය දැනට රුපියල් මිලියන 70,000ක් පමණ වෙනවා. මේ 2020 සිට වාර්ෂිකව ගෙවීමට ඇති විදේශ ණය සේවා ප්‍රමාණය ඩොලර් මිලියන 4,200ක් පමණ වෙනවා. විපක්ෂයේ සහ ඔවුන්ට උපදෙස් දෙන දේශීය හා විදේශීය විශේෂඥයින් පුරෝකථනය කළේ රට විශාල ණය ගුලකට ලීන් ණය සේවා පාරා රටක් වන බවයි. එම පුරෝකථන වලින් පෙන්වූ අඳුරු චිත්‍රය වෙනුවට අපේ රජය 2020 සඳහා ගෙවීමට තිබූ විදේශ ණය ඇතුළු සියලු ණය ගෙවූ බවද එම කරු සභාවට වාර්තා කරන්නේ ඉමහත් සතුටකිනි. ඒ අතරම 2020 විසර්ජන කෙටුම්පත් පතේ දක්වා ඇති වියදම් ශීර්ෂ කීපයක් සංශෝධනය කරන අතර ඒවා මම සභාගත කරනවා. එම වියදම් සංශෝධනය සමග 2020 විසර්ජන කෙටුම්පතේ සඳහන් ණය ගැනීම බිලියන 180කින් වැඩි යෝජනා කරනවා. ඒ අතරම රාජ්‍ය මූල්‍ය කළමනාකරණය පනතේ අඩංගු අපකර සීමාව 15% දක්වා සංශෝධනය කිරීමටත් යෝජනා කරනවා. කරු කතානායකතුමනි, අප රජයේ අයවැය ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ අන්තර්ගතය වන්නේ පසුගිය වසර 5 තුළ සිදු වූ විනාශකාරී සමාජ හා ආර්ථික වෙනස් කිරීමයි. අප රටේ ආර්ථික සංවර්ධන ස්වාධීනත්වය ඇති කිරීමට මෙම ගමන් මගින් ඉවත් වීම අත්‍යවශ්‍යයෙන්ම කළ යුතුව තිබෙනවා. දැනට පවත්නා 10%කට ආසන්න ආදායම් වියදම් හා පරතරය 2025 4%කට අඩු කිරීමට වගේම සමස්ත ණය 75%කට ඉදිරි වසර 4 තුළ අඩු කිරීම අපගේ රජයේ මූල්‍ය වගකීමයි. අප ණයන මෙන්ම අපටම නිපදවාගත හැකි ආනයනයන් අවම වන නිෂ්පාදීන ආර්ථිකයක් ගැන විශ්වාසය තැබීම ජාතික ප්‍රමුඛතාවක් දී තිබෙනවා. ඇඟලුම් හා තේ මත පමණක් හොඳා පවතින අපනයන ආර්ථිකයේ විවිධාකාර නොකර අපනයනයෙන් මෙම් දෙගුණයක් ආනයනය කරමින් දේශීය සම්පත් හා අමුද්‍රව්‍යයන්ට එකතු කර නොකර වෙළඳ සාර්ථකයක් සිරසාර සංවර්ධනයක් ඇති කරන්නේ නැහැ. කෘෂි දීවර හා පශු සම්පත් වලින් ආහාර සුරක්ෂිතතාවය හා කුෂ්කර්මාත්මීකරණයක් හා ඒ වටා ගොඩනැගිය යුතු සේවාවන් මතු නොකර ආනයනය මත ගොඩනැගුණු පාරිභෝගික හා කාර්මිකකරණය තුළින් ජනතා අභිලාෂයන් ඉටුවන සංවර්ධනයක් ඇතිවන්නේද නැහැ. ඍණ ආර්ථිකය ධනාත්මකව 6% ඉහළ වර්ධනය වේගයකට නංවා ගැනීම පමණක් නොව එයට සමගාමීව හා එහි ප්‍රතිඵලයක් ලෙස දුප්පත්කම තුරන් කර ගත යුතු වෙනවා.
The debate for the second reading of the Appropriation Bill for 2020 was commenced by Samagi Jana Balawekya parliamentarian Kabir Hashim, and he voiced that the normal procedure is seeking the early approval from the Parliament, but the incumbent government is seeking approval for already closed accounts.
In the language of common parlance, Honourable Speaker, this House is asking to vote for a covering approval for expenditure already incurred. This has never happened. අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමා ණය ගැනීම ගැන කිව්වා. මම කියන්න කැමති මේ උත්තරීතර සභාව හැර කිසිම ආයතනයකට කෙනෙකුට ආණ්ඩුවට ණය ගැනීම පිළිබඳ අවසරයක් දෙන්න බෑ. All public finance is under the control of this August Assembly. After 73 years of independence, the biggest debt that you have added on is in this year. විශ්වවිස්සේ පළවෙනි මාස 4ක සහ අවසන් මාස 4ක vote on account එකක් හරහා ඒ vote on account දෙකක් හරහා මේ සභාව ඒ අවසරය ලබා දුන්නා. ණය ගැනීම සඳහා ඒ කාල පරිච්ඡේදයට. හැබැයි මැද මාස 4ක ණය ගැනීම සඳහා කවුද අවසරය දුන්නේ?
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Former State Minister of Finance Samagijana Balawege parliamentarian Eran Wickramaratne criticizes the government for the poor income of this year, mainly caused by the revisions of key taxes in last year than the economic hit caused by COVID-19. He made these observations addressing the parliament today.
Tax revenues are the primary source of income. Income tax, excise tax, VAT, NBT, cess and PAL. These taxes have come down if you take revenues in general. But government has made changes since December 2019 up till now. But these changes should have been followed with legislation. But where is the legislation? In the acts, only the VAT rate can be changed because it is provided in the act. No other rates can be changed without the approval of Parliament. But even on VAT, the threshold cannot be changed because the act does not permit for the threshold to be changed, only the VAT rate. Therefore, revenues have also dived because of the political exigencies that arose during the elections. These revenues have come down. Income tax has come down by 32%, import duties by 9%, special commodity levies have gone up by 10% and import duties by 9%, income tax by 32%. What does this show? What this shows is that the taxes on the poor have gone up. Commodity taxes have gone up. Transport taxes have gone up. But the taxes on the rich have come down because income taxes have come down.
Meanwhile, SJB parliamentarian M.A. Sumanthiran, joining in the debate on the Appropriation Bill for the year 2020, said that the government's decision of facilitating the general public who are distressed by the COVID-19 with monetary assistance is a violation of the Constitution.
Now, even those two resolutions passed by this House can only be used to pay for specified public services and not for anything else. All of us know that that is not how finances have been handled in the country for this year. There has been a severe need to make payments, to spend, to make grants to general public who were affected in several areas. In the whole country, people were given 5,000 rupees in the month of April and May. None of those are public services. But all those expenditure was done. Those expenses were met. Developmental activity was also carried out. All this in violation of the very strict limitation imposed by the provision in the Constitution that says for specified public services only.
You know, you have to either reprofile our debt and then try and get some way in which we should be able to go for some moratorium in the future. You're welcome, you're welcome.
We have worked out the logistics as to how we are going to manage the debt, Honourable Member. So we are confident that we can manage that at this moment with the resources that we are having as well as with the plans that we are going to put in place. So while I deeply appreciate your concern and your advice, we think at the moment we won't need to do that, and we would like to prove you wrong in that manner. So thank you very much for your advice.
Police spokesman Deputy Inspector General Ajit Rohana states that the strict action will be taken against those who are violating COVID-19 related restrictions in the isolated areas, and he further added that the movements of people will be supervised in isolated areas in the country using drone cameras. Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll has increased as 2 more deaths were confirmed by the Department of Government Information. One of the deceased is a 54-year-old male from Colombo 12, and another male who is a 45-year-old resident of Migoda has also succumbed to the virus. Thus, the total number of deaths reported in the country due to the novel coronavirus is 48 as of 6 p.m. today. Moreover, 277 more tested positive for COVID-19 by 6:30 p.m. today, and all those are close contacts. Also, the Ministry of Health confirms that 470 individuals who were previously diagnosed with COVID-19 have been discharged as they have made recoveries. Thus, the total number of novel coronavirus recoveries reported in the country reaches to 10,653. A decision has been taken to quarantine persons who had left the Western Province once the travel restrictions were imposed. Sri Lanka police says that the movements of people will be monitored in isolated areas in the country using drone cameras. Thereby, 15 persons have been taken into custody after drone cameras detected them violating isolation rules in Modara. Stay tuned for stock updates. Welcome back after the break. The trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 6.96 points to close at 6,090.97, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 28.98 points to close at 2,403.57. Turnover was 1.5 billion rupees and over 90 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. With that, we'll be winding up for today. See you tomorrow at the usual time with State of Business. Until then, take care and good night.